Hello, Teaquilters. Today is Saturday, October 17th, 2020, and it's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're watching this at any other time, other than the people who are in the original chat room already, that's early. Just know that this is an upload of a live chat, so you're not chatting with us live anymore, but you can comment on any live chat videos in the comment section outside of the video. So I am here early for a change, a couple minutes early, so we're going to wait for people to get notifications and come into the room. Let's see, pull this up on my phone also. All right, so we're all ready to go. No Teaquilt shirt today. Didn't feel like changing into a shirt for the live viewing today. Just decided to come as is. People were in here chatting early today. I must have missed some earlier chats because I see 7:31. And I just rebooted my phone, guys. I uploaded another version of YouTube, and I'm still spooling. So I know I am not getting any more chats already. Look like Darcy Savelli is the last one that I see over there, but I don't see it coming here at all. So I'm going to have to reboot this phone again. Sorry, guys. I mean, I just restarted the phone, and already we got issues. So we got 28 people in the room, look like. So we're just trying to get more people time to come into the room. On Saturdays, I normally do a sew and chat, but we're just going to do a fabric haul. I bought a lot more stuff this time, guys. I started out not buying anything and then just, I guess, went crazy toward the end, I guess. We're also going to talk about the Cleopatra die. I haven't even opened it to look at it yet, so we're going to open that, see if I need to do any markings on it. And I had some other people send me a pattern too, so I'm going to look into that. I think I got it on my printer, so I'll run and get that too. So let me go get that. I'll be right back. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start reading the chat comments. We've got Pamela's. I don't know what that is. She says, way too early, but hello, T and everyone. Hi, Pamela. Hopefully she came back. Robin Boyd says, good evening, Miss T and all. The T Quilters. This is in the 7 o'clock hour, okay? In the 8 o'clock hour, Sherry Willingham says, hello, T and all. When Sprinter says, hello, T and everyone from Maryland. Mary's going, I need that quilt. Okay. Vivian Caffey says, hi, T and everyone. Betsy Lightning says, beautiful quilt. Thanks, Betsy. Grim says, hello, T and everyone. Susan T says, hi, T and everyone. Trying to stay awake for the live chat, laughing out loud. Maddie Barnum is here saying hello T and everyone. And she says, beautiful quilt. Thank you so much. Darcy Savelli says, hi T and Quilters from Coon Rapids, Minneapolis. Hey, Darcy. And she says, that is gorgeous, T. You can do so much. Always remember to hit the thumbs up. So thank you, Darcy, for always reminding people to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Leetta Bryan is here saying, hi, T and T Quilters. June Hansen says, hi, T and everyone. Mario Dennis says, I'm here. Hello, everyone. Janice Miller says, hi, T and everyone. Beautiful quilt. Kevin the Quilter says, well, Miss T, I haven't seen you in ages. Let's try to get together soon. Hey, T Quilters. He is so funny. Kevin is just a bad influence. I saw Kevin today, okay? And you'll see why in a minute. Vicki Lemire is here saying, hello. Tiffany's Quilting Life is here. She says, hi, T and friends. And she's got a smile. She got some good news this week. So happy for Tiffany and great that prayers actually work. So I'm so happy for you, Tiffany, that things are looking up on the positive for you. Lisa Peggs here saying, hi, T, and hello, everyone. Tom Eckery is here saying, hi, T. Hi, Tom. Welcome. Katia Kaufman is here, says, hi, T, and everyone. Damali J says, hi, T, and friends from District Heights, Maryland. June says, like your quilt. Thank you, June. Jackie K is here saying, good evening, T, and all. Carla Forward says, hi, T, and everyone. Hope your day went well. Mine's did. Had a lot to do, and I even decided I needed a nap. Janet Mackerel says, good evening, T and all. Robin Boyd says she's talking to Lisa. Elwin McGaw says, hi, T and T Quilters. I'm so happy to join you tonight from Las Vegas. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the channel. Any new people, please subscribe as well and hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when I go live. I also go live on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I do just a 1 hour live chat. And on Saturday nights, we do 2 hours live chat. Francesca Afino is here, says, hello, T and everyone. Jada Smith's here saying, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Arlene. Welcome. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the comments where they're talking to me or you. Darcy says, where I live at the high school, they are Cardinals. That's great. It's a lot of teams got Cardinals in them. Kim Burris is here saying, hi, T and T Quilters. Judy is here, says, hello, T and everyone. Let's see. Cecilia Ducassen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Hello, everyone from the Philippines. Hi, Cecilia. June Billings is here saying, hi, T and everyone. Don Cunningham says, hello, T and everyone. Vicky says, we got snow. Now it's raining. Oh, my gosh. You must be in Wyoming, Wisconsin or something. I don't know. Francis Jackson saying, I made it. Hi, Francis. Melinda C is here saying, hello, T and quilting friends. Sharon Lewis is here, says, hi, T and all from Washington, D.C. Kevin says, I would have everyone here know I am a wonderful influence, laughing out loud. Yeah, right. Yeah. Carolyn Bowser says, hello, T and everyone. Vivian also says, love the quilt. And Francis is saying, hi, T. Tiffany says, yeah, I will update everyone tomorrow on my live. I know everyone has been curious. Yes. And Mary goes at Kevin, the quilter. I know that's how T thought that brought that blame right to you is what I think she's trying to say. But it is true, because I'm minding my own business and Kevin keep coming up with all these great ideas. You know, I stay at home and I'm working. Kevin has not had me working the majority of this week, okay? Scrapper says, greetings, T and all. Hi, Larissa. I forgot about my fan, guys. Sorry. When I start getting hot from all these lights, I remember. And it's on high now, so I may cut it down later. But right now, I need it on high. Dewana Montreal says, hello, T and everyone here in Wisconsin. And Vicky says she's in Upper Michigan where the snow is. Okay, I figured it had to be like one of those cold northern areas. Maria Mayer is here saying hi, Tia and everyone. Claudette Bettis is also here, says hello, Tia and everyone. Let's see. Oh, Francesca's acting up. She's saying to Kevin, you need to rent a bus and take us all with you. It'll be worth the price of admission. Cynthia Shades here saying, hello, good evening. Hope all is staying busy and warm. Kevin says, Miss T needs some tea and fabric and me time. Got that right. Sometimes I need distractions because I do work myself like I'm crazy when I'm at home. I am a workaholic at home because my job is at home. It's not like I have to go somewhere to go to work. So Kevin does keep it so that I can also enjoy life. And it's still something that is on topic that we can still have fun with. But I get to enjoy it on a personal side. And Kevin saying, laughing out loud at Francesca. That would be so much fun. Does anyone here have or use a Cricut? From Mary, I don't. Lightning says, love the bus idea. Outing. You know, that's one of those things we'll have to wait until the big crisis of COVID is over. So maybe after this winter, it won't be as bad. They'll have some kind of vaccine or cure. Not necessarily, well, I'm hoping that it'll be a cure, not just a vaccine, that they can give you something over the counter that will cure it. Yeah. So we're hopeful for that as well. So you just never know what might be coming. So that's it. So I got a lot of stuff because Kevin and I had on our agenda to go to 9 quilt shops that were on the Central Illinois shop hop. One shop was closed because the owner has illness, and then one shop we decided to skip, and then we also added in 2 shops. So we actually went to 9 quilt shops yesterday, which was Friday. I think I can cut that down now. I done pretty good at the first shop. Went in there. It was a beautiful shop. It was a lot of things that I could have bought, but I decided I wasn't going to buy anything. Kevin found a great fabric in there that he bought, so I didn't feel so bad. Going to the next shops, and then I started buying a little bit here and there. And then I think I went into, out of 9 shops, I probably went into about 3 of them that I didn't purchase anything out of. But let me show you what I got. The bag is way fuller and heavier today. But let me just show you the bag. I still used my also personal bag, the recycle bag that I got from the Bernina shop. So yeah, heavy. I still see comments coming up. Let me make sure we get the new people in here. Pamela said had to switch to laptop. She says, hello to you and everyone. She's back. Dewana says, have you heard about the traveling quilter suitcase? So very easy has started that. I don't think so. I don't think I know what that is. I have to check that out. Mario says, T, that border on the new quilt behind you is gorgeous. Thank you so much. That quilt's only up temporarily because I had to do a presentation on that quilt on Thursday night, and I just haven't gotten my step ladder to get up there and unpin all of those pins across the top that I just pinned it onto my blue and gold quilt. But that is a quilt top called the Underground Railroad Quilt Code. And it's by a shop in Wood River, Illinois called Patchwork Plus. The owner is Jan. I can't remember her last name right now. I haven't. She moved more towards reproduction fabric, so I don't hardly go there. But I used to go there a lot. But thank you, Mario. Sandra says, howdy to T and T Quilters. Lovely evening to all. Sheila says hello to everyone in T. That's Sheila Willis. Susan says nothing better than a heavy shopping bag filled with fabric. And Tiffany is welcoming everybody that has come in to join the live. Thank you, Tiffany. How did the presentation go? It went very well. It ended up being a couple of quilters that were in the group, which was nice. I didn't know ahead of time that I could have invited other people to attend. It was for a financial group, and what they do is they're a group of, they are a group that has live Zooms for women over 50. So they don't want to deal with the younger crowd per se. And they do handle financial investments. And so this kind of was a kickoff into their kind of community service to some of their customers. So I thought that I couldn't invite anybody, but one of the other ladies on the panel, it was four of us actually, she invited another quilter, but I didn't know I could have had the place jam-packed, you know. But the presentation went out very well. They enjoyed it. And what I did, you know, most people that don't quilt, they think quilts are just made for beds only. So that's why I picked this topic. And I wanted to explain to them that during the Underground Railroad days that these blocks were all individual quilts. And they were put onto clotheslines to signal the runaway slaves into which direction they should go, or who could assist them, or where they could have a place to lay their head. So that's kind of what I did. You know, I will say that, you know, this is like putting the laundry out there. I invited a friend to do this, told the friend what my subject was, and said, dear friend, brought the same quilt to share at this presentation. So that was a little nerve-wracking for me. Yeah. Just thought I'd put that out there. You know, I am so open and giving and trying to make sure that I give every other people opportunities to do things. And I couldn't understand why she would bring the exact same quilt. And I only talked about this quilt. She brought this quilt and like 4 or 5 other quilts. And I just felt like it was a Shiner's thing, you know. So I'm learning. I'm going to have to learn. I hate to change who I am, but I'm thinking that at some point I'm going to need to change who I am. Kevin and I was talking about that a little bit in the car. I've gotten quite a few emails talking about how nice it was of me to make a quilt to donate to one of the Teaquilters. And that's just what I do. If I feel like people have been supportive of me, I like to be supportive of people. And the only way I can do that, me being one single person, is I know that somebody out there probably wants a quilt made by me. It's not, I don't like to be narcissistic, but I've had even people emailing me asking me, if you ever have any quilts for sale, let me know, you know. So I do understand that. I was going to put that quilt into one of my, I have a lecture for strings and crumb quilts, but I decided to go ahead and just donate it. That's just how I am. I like when people do for me, I like to give back to people. When I feel like people are down or lonely or going through some things in life, I like to try to help people. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it does not. I got fabric. This is actually from the last shop that we went to. I do not have these in any kind of order. These are half-yard cuts. And a lot of places I didn't get bags. That's why I'm kind of looking through this stuff. Because I probably have, the receipts are probably just a mess. Some of them did the square thing where you don't even get a printed receipt. So I'm going to just be guessing and say that I probably spent $1.50 for a half yard. These were pre-cuts. This was a shop that was a fabric warehouse place. Since I don't have the receipt, I can't tell you the name of it. I think it was Boleyn's. You got Kevin with me too. But this was like a half yard pre-cuts. I think these were kind of like her end of bolt things. Her fabrics in there were regularly $6 a yard. So I think I paid either like $1.50, because she had it even cheaper when it was just her end of the bolt pieces. And I'm collecting greens, yellows, oranges, maybe a little bit of pink for my next pineapple quilt. I'm not sure yet. So you can see this one. This one just has lines, or they kind of start and stop. They're not like detail lines. And then I got this orange one here. You can see the pattern. And then this yellow one here. So mostly trying to get tone on tones. And I almost got out of there with just this. And then I was actually at the cutting table and saw this batik from maybe 20 feet away. And it's octagons or hectagon, I don't know what you call it, but it's like those quilt. We used to make this in a quilt pattern. Or you can make this in a quilt pattern. There's no such thing as used to. But this can be made like, even with the hand, where you do on the, I'm blocking the name of it. But you all know what I'm talking about, where you do the granny square type stuff. But this is just a different shape that you can also do that with. Or you can just sew set in seams. But I ended up getting 4 or 5 yards because I figured I might use it as a border, but I got an extra 2 yards in the event that I may want to put some of it inside the quilt as well. But I just, English paper piecing, thank you so much, Dawn. I even had a nap and it's still not working. But yes, but I just love this, and it's got that teal. It was just calling my name way from across the room. I'm like, okay. So I bought that at the last shop we went to. My favorite shop was a Bernina shop. And I'm getting the fabric out first. We walked into the door. They did the generic hello, very polite generic hello. And so Kevin and I had started kind of moseying around a little bit. And then all of a sudden, Kevin goes, wow, I guess we got a welcoming committee. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 of them that were surrounding us going, hello, is there anything that we can do for you, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh my God, you know, we were kind of like, maybe we shouldn't be in here because this is going to be rough. But they ended up being the nicest people. And that's the group of people that we took the picture with on Facebook. And it was like the Studio Center, Sewing Studio, I think is the name of it. Maybe in Hudson, Illinois. I'm not sure about the city. But those group of ladies, the owner included, they were just awesome. Very friendly. I was looking for the big book of feet for Bernina. They said they had one in stock. Couldn't find it. And then they started searching and tearing that store apart trying to find that book for me. So I really appreciate them. But they had a bin. I don't know where these two go right here. I don't I think this went with this one over here where I got these yellow, because they're still yellows-ish fabric. So I think this came from Boleyn's. These half yards for like $1.50. But they had just whatever was rolled into these fabric rolls, and then they had different colors of these, and they just had these in baskets. And whatever yardage it was, it could have been 1 to 2 yards. You got it for $5. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I ended up, I'm trying to just see now, what did I pay for $5? Because I've never opened it, okay? So this looks like 2 yards of just a modeled print. And I think that I can even use it in my project. So 2 yards for $5 at a quilt shop. You know, and you know most definitely it's quilt shop fabric. So quiltingtreasures.com. So that's one. And then the second one here, it's just a green that kind of looks like it could be the movement of hair, or like if it was in white, it could be Santa's beard. It's kind of hard to show you guys, but weird. And I just figured it was like one of those neutrals. And again, it's even more than 2 yards, because this is 2 yards, and then I still got this fold, so like another almost third, because it's more than 9 inches. It's a little bit more than, well, I'll say about 12 inches. So a third of a yard. And then this one I also got out the clearance section, and I thought I was going to get out of there scot-free. I have used fabric like this in the past, very similar, and I love it as a background print. I've used it in a couple quilts, and I'm completely out of it now. And so I thought that I would buy it. I don't even know if it's the same material. I don't think it's exactly the same, but it's very, very similar. But I just thought that I would buy more of that. I'm trying to let me put this phone on a charger. Let me stop and read some of these comments. I got one more thing from the Bernina shop. Hold on, let me go back. I think I said Sheila Willis. The heavier in the back. How did the presentation go? I talked about that. I like the quilt. Need the pattern. You are going to have to contact Patchworks Plus in Wood River, Illinois. You can tell them Teaquilts sent you, but I don't have a contact with that shop. I don't have like affiliation with that shop. I hardly ever go to that shop, but she knows who I am. Mario says, wow, that's great tea. He's talking about when I was talking about the quilt back there. Francesca says, don't know about you all, but I can't sew fast enough for the fabric on hand. You got that right. What's your favorite lightweight double-sided heat and bond? It depends on the technique. If it's just regular, I'm going to cut it out like a heart and press it down. I don't need to worry about where it's going to be. And it's going to be something solo. Then I just use regular heat and bond. I use the heat and bond light. And I just tend to buy it by the bolt whenever Joann's have it on sale. Or if they don't have it on sale, it's even better because I can use a 60 or 70% coupon when they have those special days. If I'm doing like a collage quilting, I like Steamer Seam 2 light because it's a little tacky, and so you can put it down, but you don't have to iron it, and everything will stick. And then I iron the entire collage at the end. So that's my two favorites. And I don't use Steamer Seam 2 all the time. It's actually my favorite, but it's more costly. So I use the heat and bond on easy projects, and then like in the hoop projects on my embroidery machine, I'll always use heat and bond light. Otherwise, I use Steamer Seam 2 light. Bless you, T. That's Mario. T, you are a good soul. Thank you. T, don't you ever change who you are. You are caring, genuine, giving, smart, experienced woman. Yeah, but I keep getting ran over at times. So something's got to change. Or I got to quit. I try to be open and give everybody a chance. And it's like I have to decide. I need to think more about things before I do them, I guess. I guess that's my main thing I need to change. And then if I've been done bad by somebody, definitely don't mess with them anymore. So Eric Otis here saying hello, hello. Don says people recognize someone who is being real versus someone stepping over everyone to try to get ahead. Janet says, T, keep doing you. Dorsey says, T, you are such a blessing to us all. Thank you, Dorsey. Pamela says, please don't change who you are. I love your disposition. Thank you. Maddie says, love the fabric. So, T, you're awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Oda has entered the chat. That's from Kevin the Quilter. You know how he can be. People can be so disappointing at times, T, but let them do what they do and just keep it moving. They will reap what they sow. Yeah. Next pineapple quilt. Did I hear you say right, T? Haha. You're going to be surprised. But yes, I am going to be doing another pineapple quilt. And I've been knowing for a long time because I told you all that I was going to be doing different pineapple quilts. I am not starting this quilt like, well, I might start this quilt. But it is not, you'll be surprised. Let's just say that whenever I start. Right now I'm just collecting some extra fabrics. I'm going to be using my scraps as well, but I wanted to make sure that I had some values and hues and some updated prints as well. But it's going to be a scrappy quilt as well. Hexes. People told me about the English paper piecing. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip some of this. Thank you, Kevin. He said it is in Hudson, Illinois, so I did get that right. The sewing studio for the Bernina shop. Yeah, and then one of the ladies had even remembered seeing a picture of my Mariner's quilt, the quilt that's on my car. That's my Facebook page. And so then she went to YouTube and started watching. That was the actual owner, and she went to YouTube and started watching videos. It was hilarious. They were a really nice group. But look what I found. This is Dee Dee's I had already saw this, and then Dee Dee said that she had one and really liked it. And so I had seen this in a local shop, but for some reason it was marked higher than this, and it did cost $70. But instead of like a foot being made for one thing, this book will tells you everything that you can do with that quilt. Sometimes you can still straight stitch, so they kind of ignore that. But they tell you everything that you can actually do with a foot besides just the little paragraph you get with the foot when you get it. So I am looking forward to using this, and I'm going to be marking everything off that I have. And I do like that they organized it by the foot numbers. Since they put numbers on their feet, they did organize it by that. So yeah, and the clearance fabric, this fabric was clearance. Here's the receipt in the book. I can tell you what that cost. It was $6 a yard. And so I bought 5 yards as a background. But like I said, it was one of those that I really love. So I'm just going to put that book up. The next to the last shop we went to, let's see, Indigo Quilt Studio out of Lincoln, Illinois. This is one of those few times that I paid full price for a piece of fabric. And I got it because if you all remember my Select Your Dream quilt, the one that I have all of the different quilting designs on, this would have been perfect as a binding cut on the bias in that quilt. And so I just bought a yard because in case I make it a bed size quilt, I know I'll have enough binding fabric. But I'm just going to put this in my stash. The same thing for this one, although it was on sale for $8. It's like decorative stitches. And I thought that it cut on the binding on the bias as well would make a nice binding. So these two were definitely stash purchases. I'm not sure. I'm just pulling out because, oh, this did all come from the same place. Trying to find a receipt now because I can't remember what I paid. Peddler's Way in Washington, Illinois. It's one of my favorite shops, and I cannot walk around that shop, so I just go straight to the sales room because I want to buy almost everything in there. They have great patterns, they have great displays. They got like a whole room almost that's just filled with boutiques almost. They got a sale room that's a true sales room. It's not like one aisle of sales. You can spend your entire shop hop time in just a sales room. So I went into the sales room, and this purchase here was actually Kevin's fault because I was trying not to even look at the sales fabric. I was looking at embroidery designs and books, and Kevin goes, look at this. And so I did not even get it, but it's a border print. So you can see the entire border. Print what it looks like. It just continues out. Let me open it up and see if there's more animals there. Yeah, so it has the giraffes as well, and look like a pony or a zebra. Not sure which one yet, but yeah. And then I didn't even get it, and then I went to the cutting table and somebody else was getting one that was very similar to this one. And I realized that this would be great on some of my African quilts. So when I start using some of my African fabrics, I thought that this would be awesome. So, piece of paper here. How much yardage did I get on that? I bought what they had on the boat, which was 5.5 yards. And it wasn't like super cheap either. It was $9 in the clearance section. But I like that it's got words inside of the animals and trees. So y'all know that I'm kind of a sucker for text. And that's why Kevin pulled it. And then on that same line in the room, they also had this print as well. I got 2 yards of that, $9. And this one is just because it was, you know, the orange stuff. It's going to go on the pineapple quilt. But I just ended up taking the boat because you all know this is my kind of fabric right here. These colors, just vibrant colors. I love it. It was $9 as well. Peddler's Way. My stack's about to fall over. And I don't have much more in this bag. So 1, 2, 2, 3, and then the black fabric is 4. So out of 9 stores on the Shop Hop, I think I shopped out of 5. So I got some more orange stuff. We went to she just got guest check on her. What is it called? Treadle Quilt Shop, Kevin? I don't know where it is. I can't remember right now. So maybe Kevin will help us. Let me go down to the bottom. Let's see what Kevin is saying otherwise on the other stuff. Oh, he's laughing. He's talking to Eric. Yeah, it's the Treadle. And I don't remember what city, but I took a little video clip so you all could see this shop. And this shop has drastically improved from the last time that I was there. This has got to be the store that should be a fire hazard. But it was before where you had to almost turn sideways to get down the aisle. And if somebody else was coming, there was just no way. She almost need to put up and down aisles like they do for the mass stuff now. But it is cleaned up. But I did take a little excerpt on my phone. But I was whispering because I didn't want her to know that I was videotaping. So I couldn't upload it. But I will do a voiceover maybe, and then I'll upload it onto the YouTube channel, but so you all can just see 2 aisles, because I couldn't record anymore because where she was located, she would see me with the camera as I was crossing through, so I couldn't do any more. But just fabric everywhere. If you looking for something, that place probably got it. So I spent $17. This piece of fabric here was $10. She had, at first she had a sign on the door saying if you pay cash, you get 20% off. So we did all the shopping, get up to the cash register, and then laying on top of the cash register with tape is cash only. So I don't know what's up with her and her shop, but we ended up having to pay cash, which Kevin didn't even have cash. So it's an inconvenience when you put one thing on the door and something else. So just another piece of orange. I just like this orange. I'm going to put some of it in my pineapple quilt and then also keep a little piece of it as well. And then 2 more orange pieces. These were $5.60 for both of these. They had a regular price of $3.50, so you get 20% off of the $3.50. Okay. So that's it from the store. This bag is empty. So let me, except for my glove, I lost one of my gloves. I hope it's not in Kevin's car. Oh, it's in here. It was cold yesterday morning. It was 35 when we walked out the door. It did get into a high of 63. So that was good. But, you know, our dear friend Kevin on the way back starts talking about, you know, that R&R Ace is having their fabric sale tomorrow, don't you know? It starts tomorrow, you know. Or I think we should go, you know. I think we should go. So we went, but I contained myself. The great thing was we did not go when they opened at 8. We went at almost noon, like 11:30 or so. And you all know that this is the place where the fabrics, it's the R&R Ace. They don't, all fabric stores, all R&R Aces do not have a fabric department. So you have to check that for yourself. I have no idea if they have it in any other Ace in the USA or anywhere else in this country, or anywhere else in the world, I mean. But you need to check for yourself to see if they sell fabric. I didn't do too bad. I decided to make my stuff stay on focus. So what do you think these fabrics are for? Except for one, which you can't see yet. Yeah, I stayed with, if I'm doing the pineapple quilt. So I just got half-yard pieces of various different fabrics. So I'm just going to show you. They were all $1.67 for half yards. This one I thought I got to do a pineapple block that's made like the snowflake. And so I thought this one would be cute. It would give it some interest, although it's more orangey than yellow, but I'm going to do it anyway. This one here. All half-yard pieces. I got 13 of them to use in my quilt. So I stayed focused on a topic. And then I also only bought what was name brand fabric companies. I didn't get off-brand fabric companies fabric. So all Benettex, Timeless Treasures, Windham Fabrics are all of these. Because they do have off-brands there as well, like Riverwoods. I don't know who Riverwoods is. Riverwoods isn't a bad brand. I just decided that I wasn't going to get it because I didn't need any fabric. So that's the only reason I just denied getting that fabric. $1.67 for a half yard. And this was my favorite yellow there. You know, we've seen this everywhere, the roses. And I got two greens that were, once they get to the end of a bolt as they're cutting, even during the sale, they'll put them into a remnant section. So this is 2/3 yard of fabric. Here I got out the remnants. It's roses in here as well. 67 cents for 2/3 yard. And then this last one is 3/4 yard. It's not going to go on my quilt because it's got the purple in here. But it's 3/4 yard for 75 cents. It's just something that I can use for 75 cents. Even if I just make strings with it. And then I bought this one. I bought 3 yards. No, 2 yards. They only had 2. I wanted 3 yards. They only had 2. And because of the tumblers, you all know I have the tumbler die, and I thought maybe I could do something with this as a border on using on one of the tumbler quilts. So that's why I bought this one. That's the only one that I bought out of my subject area. So not too bad. If you all are making lots of comments about the fabric, I'm going to try to skip those so we don't get backed up too far. And then I went to Joann's because I wanted to use the 60% off, and I'm going to be eventually doing a big embroidery project. And there's a particular embroidery tearaway that I like. So I went first and looked at their wall to see if I could find a few more orange, and I did. I don't know how much orange I'm actually going to put in this quilt, but I just wanted to have it just in case. They had keepsake calicos on sale, so I feel for the ones that I like. If I don't like the way they feel, I don't get them. Some of their fabrics can be stiff at Joann's, so you have to do the feel test. And so I also got this one. And then this is the last one. I just got 3 half yards, $5 on sale, so I just paid $2.50 for each one of those. And the last thing I got, I told you I buy all my interfacings and things like that. I buy them the heat and bond fusible interfacings as well. I buy everything by the boat. I don't even waste my time just cutting, because when I use this stuff, I go through it so much, and I just like to have my own supply of it at home. So I bought this. Let me make sure it's right side up. It's called 360 Easy Stitch, and it's an embroidery interfacing that's a tearaway, and it's 100% polypropylene. But I just wanted you to see the boat so you can see what it looks like on the boat. It's also blue instead of pink. That lets you know that it's for embroidery when you're at Joann's. And I'm just going to show you, because I have one open, what it looks like. It's like that face mask stuff that we had, but it's now that I think about it, it's similar to that, but it's got these little holes in it. And what it does is it makes it so that it's just easy to tear. And it's kind of rubbery because it's polypropylene, but it does tear pretty easy. And I like to use this as my floating layer sometimes when I need, if you're into machine embroidery and your design has 30,000 stitches and you hoop a piece of tearaway and then you go and stitch those 30,000 stitches on one layer of interfacing, it's not going to work. When you take it out of the hoop, everything's going to come in. What I do is I use this to put my 2, 3, sometimes 4 layers that I float under my hoop, so once it starts stitching, it catches it. But I just like using that, and I saw that they had a 60% off coupon and thought I'd use it today. So I just buy the whole bolt. And that's it for the haul. So let me go and read some of these comments. I'm not going to do all of them. T, you did some shopping. Yes, I did. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm buying all this stuff. Kim Burrs is saying, good night, everybody. I'm falling asleep. Y'all take care now. See ya. T, those are all nice. From Maddie. Those shutters will be beautiful on a pineapple quilt. Great pieces, cheaper than one fat quarter. Right. Carol Green's here saying great prices. Probably or give me the whole row. That's Eric talking to somebody. I don't know where he started off at. I usually have to shop online, and I just pray that the shade is what I like. That's from Darcy. Carl says, you and Kevin had a good time. Love the fabrics. We sure did. A fire hazard in OB's country store in East Pearl, Pennsylvania. Love that store. Fabric can fall on your head at any given moment, laughing aloud. And that is exactly what could happen in this store. I had never seen so much stuff in the store. And even her notions wall, it's so jam-packed that you'll miss stuff that you're even looking for. It's amazing to me. But I couldn't, the notions was right down the same aisle that her cash register was at. And I definitely couldn't record any of that. We got Peggy in here saying, hi, TNT Quilters. Glad you got to go quilt shop hopping. T, I'm just loving all the fabrics you got from those stores. From Ellie Scrapper. Great haul. The feet book will help you learn your machine. That's from Don. Thank you, Don. And my brother is here. He says, hi, sis and everyone. Hope you're staying safe and talking. He's talking to my mom on the phone. He normally calls her in the morning before he goes to work or as he's traveling to work. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to not read all of these. T, do all those shops you visited have a website? I want some fabric and too expensive in Canada. I shop on Missouri Star Quilt Company a lot. And with the exchange, I still save a lot. Yes, all of those stores, because of COVID, stores that weren't online or now online, sometimes you can refer them back to this video where I'm doing the haul if you want something that I've told you where it came out of a particular store. Most shops are more than willing to find you what you want. You just tell them, it's, you know, they're not going to sit there and watch the whole video if you're talking about something in particular, but they will. If you give them a time and give them a video link, they may try to assist you online, make it worth their while. But yes, all of them are online. Some of them are not going to have every piece of fabric that they have in the store online, and that's because they were never online and they're not set up to do that yet. But you know, there are a lot of places online that sell fabric. All right, so guess what, everybody? I have not heard from the drawing winner that I drew on Wednesday that actually won the quilt top. I just finished today, finished the quilting on my pineapple quilt. Now I got to put the binding on it while it's on the long arm. I'm going to do that tomorrow, hopefully. And then I will start putting that quilt on the frame, hopefully on Monday. Maybe, well, let me say Tuesday or Wednesday that I'll put it on the frame, because tomorrow I'm actually going to be meeting our wood turner on the road. We're going to exchange the order that I purchased. So I am meeting him to pick up your order. And you all know I would like to get those orders out as soon as possible. So I am going to be getting those orders out. All the prize winners that won on Wednesday, I have not mailed out any prizes. If you email me, I think it was Jackie K that emailed me, Claudette, Cynthia Shade, and Don Cunningham. Those 4 people, I think I heard from through email. And I just haven't mailed your items yet because I have not been at home. Thursday, I spent working on my presentation for this quilt, so I wasn't doing any excess desk work stuff. Just wanted to concentrate on my subject area. And Friday, I was kidnapped or quilt napped. So, and then Saturday, I was out again with Kevin. And St. Clair, Missouri is about an hour, 20 minutes or so ride for me. And then I stopped at Joann's on the way back. So it was a lot. And hi, Mike, just in case you're watching. So guess what? We're going to draw again from the numbers on my sheet. And we'll see if we can get a winner that's in this room, hopefully. Maybe. So you all are lucky. People purchasing. You know, a lot of people say they follow, but I think the people that chat the most, I know who you all are, but I'm not sure who the other people are that say they watch and you win and you don't even know you won. I feel so bad if she watched this video a month later and realized she won a quilt that's now been defaulted. She defaulted on. So I'm just mixing up all the numbers. I have numbers in here from 1 to 210, but we had 206 purchases because I went ahead and added the last 4 numbers in here once I put the numbers up. So everybody's name is on a line with a number. So I just pulled the number. I'm just trying to make sure I mix them up so that all like numbers aren't in the same spot, or similar numbers aren't in the same spot. Okay, we're now at number 64. I hope that reads for you all. It's reading backwards for me, but maybe it's right for you. Number 64 belongs to Judy Brown. Now, I have not seen Judy in this chat room tonight, but we'll see if Judy speaks up here. See if we can find Judy. She is the new winner of the High Seas string quilt that I am giving out. So I'm going to go back down to the bottom. Oh, Judy says she's Judy Brown. Okay, because I couldn't remember which what's her last name. So she's here. She's saying, yay. OMG. She's saying OMG. So Judy is Judy Brown. Judy is Judy Brown. So email me again your mailing information, and then once you do that, I'll just print it out and stick it to the quilt top so I don't forget who actually won it, and I will highlight it on my sheet right here. And I'm going to put Judy on here as well. I'm so glad somebody won it in the chat. So, as long as she follows through with the mailing address, everything is done for the quilt. And I've talked with Judy through email a couple times, so Judy knows how to contact me, so I think the quilt is done. So, congratulations to you, Judy. I'm so glad that somebody that frequents the chat all the time won the quilt. I'm glad about that. And again, I have great people in this group. You got so many people that wanted to win that quilt themselves, and they're still congratulating you, Judy. So I appreciate all of my tea quilters, and I just love this group of people here. So thank you all so much. Just lots of congratulations. That is just awesome. That is awesome. Maddie is asking, is there a Zoom tomorrow? I don't think Eric has planned the next date for the Zoom because he did it the first week in October. So we technically have done a Zoom for this month. And I don't know when he's going to schedule the next one. Judy's saying, I am thrilled to have a quilt tea made, getting teary. That's really sweet. But a lot of people have wished her congratulations. You all are just awesome. I just love that. So he says no Zoom tomorrow, maybe next Sunday. All right, so now we're going to talk about the topic that we should be talking about. And I normally do a sew and chat. I got to get these numbers back in here, guys. We normally do a sew and chat, but I have not been able to do any fabric pulling for my Cleopatra, and I'm not sure if I want to like make a test block first or if I want to just try to, because I'm not sure how I want my quilt to look. I haven't made any plans because I've been so busy working on other stuff. It took me about 7 machine hours of quilting that pineapple quilt. That's how long it took for me to quilt that. That means that it took me probably in actual time about, I'd say about 20 hours maybe by the time I rotate, base the sides, get the computer so it's situated. And I did have a computer malfunction. You know, things go wrong. And so it's not just about how long the machine stitched, it's about how long it takes to do it for real in real time hours. So I'm going to say about 20 hours for me to quilt that quilt. Yeah, but I'm glad it's done. And I can go ahead and start. I'm going to load the Judy's quilt now. It's Judy's quilt. I'm going to be loading Judy's quilt onto the frame. Thinking Monday, I'm going to be working overnight on Sunday into Monday. I'll probably be up late because I'm one of those people that can't sleep when I know I got a lot to do. So I'm going to get all those packages ready for mail that I can drop off Monday by noon. I try to get all my packages up there by noon to make sure that they don't miss. If the truck that takes them to the main post office for sorting comes early, I don't like for my items to get missed, especially my priority stuff. But any mail, any packages, I like for them to get up there before 12. So, talking about doing the Cleopatra fan, and I know I told you all that I was doing it because I was buying it on the Go Die. And I do know a lot of you all do not have the Go systems. There are books that have the Cleopatra fan in it, the Cleopatra's fan in it. And I know Regina had showed us one in a Zoom. Regina Connor, she showed us one, and she was working on it. And I can't remember if it was hand applique or not. But then I also got a message. I'm blocking who sent me this. Let me check my email because I want to give people credit. Let's see. And it's been a few days. It was Jay Miller. So I think it's Janice Miller. And she sent me a link where they had one on Robert Kaufman's fabric site. And they got all the templates and stuff included here. And I thought that one was really pretty too. And then I also, on the thumbnail of this video, I just found one by searching for images on Cleopatra's fan block. And I pulled that one up so I could give people an idea of some fabric choices to put for your quilt. But I just wanted to show you that they got all of the templates here. And most of these curves are very gentle curves. So I feel like it shouldn't be too complicated to piece, but we shall see. Right? We shall see. So I felt like we could just open the block up, and then back to patterns again before I do that. Just search and Google. Maybe you might find somebody that has a free paper piece Cleopatra, and that might be easier to do. So if you don't have the AccuQuilt cut system so that you can do this either on the go or the studio, then I do recommend you trying to figure out if you want to participate to do it a different way. And I do know that this is more of a intermediate sewing we're going to be doing next. I have never done this block, never took this out of the packaging. So this is going to be new to me as well, but I have made Drunkard's Path blocks. I've sewn apple core blocks, so I have sewn some curved seams, so I have experience with curves. I know it's not going to be for everybody. That's why I put the beginner project in between the pineapple quilt. And the Cleopatra fan people have been waiting for me to do this, patiently, may I add. So I appreciate that. But I just wanted to get this out. This one, you will have to have at least a go. You can't use the Go Me, that little small one. You can't use that to put this in. It will not fit. You have to have at least the Go or the Go Big in order to cut this. So this is my first time looking at this, and I can see they've got these. I don't know if they're grouped any kind of way. So we're going to go through and try to read some of the instructions and see if maybe all of these blades are the same fabric. Maybe these blades are the same, and maybe these blades are the same. And then if they are, what I do is I just highlight around the outer edge of what goes together and try to measure to see if I'm cutting that out of one piece of fabric, what's the smallest size fabric that I can cut for that grouping. And that's what I'm hoping is going on, that they're kind of grouped some kind of way. Okay. Take this out as well so I can read it without all the noise. Okay. So on the front, no information, just showing you blocks made where the fabric combinations have been just switched. So the blue is in the actual fan part, and up here it's in the actual background. Let me make sure. Let me go back and see if you all are commenting on something I need to mention. Darcy is asking if that pattern from Robert Kaufman's site is a free pattern. Yes, it is a free pattern, and that is a great question. All patterns on the fabric manufacturer site are not free, but this one is free, and let me show it to you again for those, just in case somebody is wanting to get it. It is just called Cleopatra's Fan. And so what I did was I just went to Robert Kaufman's fabric site, which is, see if they got it on the front. Ironically, no. They do not have the website on the front. So search for Robert Kaufman fabric, and then once I got an actual link from her. But then what I do when I go onto other sites, because it's just automatic for me, I just search for the pattern name. So just Cleopatra's Fan. If you search for it, once you get to the site, then you will have it there. If I think about it after this video uploads, I'll try to go back and put the link that she actually sent me for this particular fabric, for this particular pattern, because it is really nice. And the other thing about fabric manufacturers' patterns, remember that there are fabric manufacturers, and what's their goal? To sell you fabric. So they're going to tell you to buy all these different fabrics, and you don't have to really do that. You can use your stash. You're just going to use your scraps, your stash, whatever you got that's big enough to use, because they're trying to sell you a fabric line. And then every time they tell you to make something, they're going to go back and refer to all these different codes that they've got their fabric coded by. So you just ignore the codes and you just pick your 2 or 3 fabrics per each block, and then you can make your block. And sometimes it can be difficult to use fabric manufacturer patterns depending on the patterns, but this time it should be easy because you just need a minimum of 3 fabrics for each block. Now you could make it so that you could put a different color. They don't have to all be the same. Like this is a 3 fabric one, but you can make this right here a different color and make it 4 fabrics, and this could make it where it's 5 fabrics. So it just depends on the end result of the block you want. You don't have to stay true to what you see as a 3 fabric block. Okay, so let me make sure we don't have any comments here. Peggy, are you deleting messages? I'm just checking. Sometimes stuff get deleted and people, you hit it and don't even know you're doing it. And that's what I thought, because I didn't want people to get mad at you. She said, sorry, not sure how I deleted messages. And she also put Susan in timeout for 300 seconds or something. So I'm hoping that will come back really quick, because I know I do it when I'm scrolling. So don't take it personal. Sometimes if you accidentally get put in timeout or your messages get deleted, I'm trying to view them. I was able to view them, but I can't get them to re-show once somebody accidentally deletes your message. But it's not personal. I kind of figured that because she was doing it so many times in a row. She could have just been leaning on her phone. She did Mary and Susan T. She couldn't do the moderators that were in between. That is funny. Don says Charlene Jorgensen has hard plastic templates for Cleopatra's fan on Amazon for $42.95. I have some of her old books. So she's just giving you another contact for it. Teresa says, I sew curved seams all the time. The problem is I mean to go straight. That is funny. Cecilia says, hard for a beginner like me, but I just watch and listen to learn. That's great. Let's see. Pamela says, T, is that a 12-inch finished block? So that's a good question. Let's see what's on here. Yes, Cleopatra's fan is a 12-inch finished block. Great question. Thanks, Don. And then on this paper here, let's see if they tell us what size their finished block is. If you're interested in this one from Robert Kaufman. The quilt is 82 by 88. But again, you don't have to make the whole quilt. You make as many blocks as you like. When you get tired of them, you go, hey, I got a nice table runner, or I've got a bed topper where you can put it across your pillows, or you can put it across the bottom of your bed. So you decide. So let's see. It's not at the beginning. So let's see if I can find it once I piece a block. It says repeat step 1 with the remaining block sets to make 54 whole blocks and 12 half blocks. But doesn't tell me at a glance what size these blocks are that I can see. So I don't know what size these blocks are. And it's put on point. It's sold on point. So I can't just like try to figure it out myself. I can't see where it says it. So no, I have no idea. They don't even have their website on here. Okay? Just saying. Anytime you put something out as a fabric manufacturer, they've got that it was designed by Robert Kaufman and Ramona Rose, and they got Ramona Rose's website, but they don't have their own. So that's kind of weird. And the pattern level, it says that it is an advanced expert. So it's beyond intermediate, okay? All right. So I have not done this. It looks like they got a black and white and gray one here, which is nice. So you can see the different color values too. And then they've got the values mixed around in each of these three, so you can see how they look if you mix your values. And then they got like different accents. You see how these diamonds are accented here? And that's what I was saying. You can use more than one fabric, like more than 3 fabrics to make a block if you wanted your blocks to look something different. But I think the first time I'm just going to do traditional so I can see how it's working. I don't know how many blocks I'm going to make. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut out 8 since we can. No, how many layers? You can cut 6 layers with this die. So maybe I'll cut out 6 layers since that's the max you can cut out with the die. And then we'll see if I sew those and if I want to cut more. Okay. For this runner, it's giving you fabric measurements for 3 blocks. They're saying fabric 1, which is the black, they used 1 yard. Fabric 2, which is the white, 3/4 of a yard. And fabric 3, which is the gray, is 1 yard. So basically a yard of fabric for each of your fabrics. And then that table runner is, let's see if they've got a finish size, 23 by 57. So that's pretty cool. And it's on point as well. That's why it's wider than the 12 inches. Because it's on point as well with some borders. So again, let me show you that table runner. So very nice. They're showing you how it's pieced. I'll show you some of that just so you all can see. It seems like it's very gentle curves, and then F and G, when you put F and G together here, this look like it's your most gonna be your biggest curve, but the rest of them are kind of like little gentle curves. So I'm hoping that this is not going to be complicated. You're kind of making like half of a block, and then you put those half blocks together, kind of like making 2 half square triangles with all of your curved pieces, and then you put those 2 half square triangles together. So it's going to be interesting. I have never sold this block. I had never seen it other than when Quilt introduced it. I didn't know anything about the block. I probably could have seen it in one of my block books, but didn't just pay it any attention because it had all the curves. But once Quilt started making dies for stuff and its curves, and I don't have to cut them with a template or anything like that since I already got the system, then I'm a little bit more interested in the party, you know, coming to the party, so to speak. So let me go back and read some of these comments. Let's see. Thank you, Tiffany, for cleaning some of this up because I'm so busy I don't see what's going on. So, and Tiffany says that she can't, I can't undelete, so I'm sure Tiffany can't undelete. And Peggy says she's very sorry. If you all knew Peggy, she would never do any of that. So I machine quilt for Peggy, and Peggy is in my large quilt guild, and she's also in my scrap quilting club. And believe me, Peggy would not do that. I know Peggy, so she's very sorry about that. Oh, so Eric says that he did see the messages because he was a moderator, so he knows what Mary was saying. So that's great. Tiffany says, I'm still trying to find a double wedding ring template in a 12-inch block. I find all but 12. I may need to do a different size. And I keep forgetting, I can't remember where I put. I had like 3 or 4 sets of double wedding rings in different sizes. And then when I bought the gold die, I go, I'm not going to use all these templates. And I start selling them, but I thought I had 1 set left, but I'm probably thinking it's bigger than 12. But I can't even remember where I put it because it's been so long since I even took it to a flea-for-all, because I sold the other 2, but that one just never did sell. So I'm probably going to assume it might be really big. Maybe why it didn't sell, because it's supersized. But I need to figure out where I put that last one. I just don't know yet. Pamela says, I'm going to try and get some help because I really want to make this. I have to order the die. When are you starting? I'm hoping that I'm going to start sewing next week, hoping I have these pieces cut. Hoping. I have to read this. I have to look at this. I was trying to figure out on Quilt, what are we cutting with what? So fabric 1 says, that's the black. It says 1 complete Cleopatra's fan box. Cut 24 6-inch finished half square triangles from shape 5. Oh, they're talking about setting triangles. It looks like what they did when they mixed these pieces up, they just cut a piece of fabric to cover the entire die, and then they just mixed and matched them. So they didn't say that JH, B, and D or whatever on this side was all cut on fabric. They just took a piece of fabric cut to the size of this die board, and then they just ran 3 pieces of fabric through, and then they just mixed and matched the pieces into these blocks. So they did the quick way. But what if you wanted them to all look the same? Then that's a problem, right? So I'll have to look at this a little bit more in depth. Because they're not helping me. I'm going to have to look at it. I thought I could figure it out right here, like what pieces went, like JH, J, See, because it's all this stuff going all over the places. I can't tell. I'm going to have to really sit down and look at it in detail, because I don't want to tell you something wrong in a video and you all come back and watch a video and then it's not right. So I'm not going to say. I'm going to see if there's a way for us to cut. So if you wanted all of your things to be the same, like say if you were using a red, white, and blue, and you wanted, even if you were using different fabrics, but you wanted all of your reds to be in the same spot, all of your blues to be in the same spot, and all of your backgrounds to be white, I want to see if there's a way that that can be done. Otherwise, we're just going to be making blocks where we're just covering the whole die. I have to see how this die is set up and see if we can do that. Okay, so a little bit more complicated coming out the door, but according to this pattern, advanced expert. AccuQuilt took the cheater's way out, just cut the whole die. That is funny. Hold on. Let me go back. My screen changed. So let's see. Pamela is saying, I'm going to try to start and get some help because I really want to make this. I have to order the die. When are you starting? And I'm hoping to be doing this next week. I don't know if I'm going to be cutting or if I'm just going to go ahead and cut. If I can only just cover the whole die, which probably is what I probably should do, and just call it a day for the first time, because it'll be easier, and then just mix and match what I want to put with each block. And I'm going to cut 6 layers of fabric at one time. So I'll end up with enough to do 6 blocks. And then I can, like, I don't have to make them so that I'm having 2 blocks or 3 blocks with the same fabric. I can mix them fabrics around even. So I'm thinking about that, because you all know I like scrappy, right? I don't like my stuff looking like it's got another partner somewhere else in the quilt. Unless you're doing a match quilt, then that's different. So I'm going to have to look into that. But hopefully next week, Pamela, we're going to start stitching. See how my week goes. Are you going to make the Cleopatra fan Scrappy? That was Tiffany. I just saw that. So yes, I just answered that. I'm hoping to. And I don't know if I'm going to, how many blocks I'm going to make. So I'm going to go for Scrappy. And then we're going to figure it out after that. I have no idea because I haven't even planned fabrics or anything. So we'll see. Susan says, I would like to hand piece that block. And you might find, if you can do Google search for Cleopatra block hand applique, you might can find a pattern. I always Google stuff just to see what comes up. You'll be surprised at what comes up, and sometimes it'll be free somewhere. So do try to Google that. And I know Regina had it. It was actually in an actual book. And so Regina was saying she was going to do hers that way. And Carl's also asking, when is this going to start? I should be sewing on it today, but I have not had time to even pull this out and look at it. So I'm glad that I'm able to do that now. So we're not actually doing an actual sewing chat today, but I just wanted to do the planning and let people know what's coming up next officially. And I did not know. These pieces are really good size, so I think they should be really easy to sew as far as the curves are concerned. So I'm confident that it'll be okay, but we shall see. I don't think that this is worse than Drunkard's Path, just looking at it. You know, Drunkard's Path has that real defined end curve. The apple core has a real defined curve. So I just don't think that this looks as complicated as those other two, or as hard to sew, but we shall see soon. Francis says, good night all, gotta go. 4:30 comes quickly when you're tired. Good night. Darcy says, I have, so they're talking medical stuff, so I'm going to go past, I'm going past a lot of the medical stuff. Jackie says, T, I made one Cleopatra fan block. Took me 2 hours. She says, my brain is challenged with angles, but finally got it together. Will be better with acrylic templates. And what I am actually going to do is when I cut my pieces out on fabric, I'm also going to already have cut out this on cardstock or some paper. Maybe just a piece of freezer paper will work. And then I can put that on top of my stacks to pin my fabrics. And so I'll always know what my pieces are. Because I think that's the biggest concern is you cut these out and then you lose track of which piece is actually which piece. So I would recommend that you get a piece of freezer paper and cut all of these pieces out and then mark your freezer paper and then go and cut your fabrics. And as you're taking them off the die boards, make sure that you put them under a piece of freezer paper, and or you can just, I would pin to make sure that they don't come off, because you don't want to lose your pieces and what you got. And I tend to put, when I put the alphabets on my templates, I try to put them the same direction so I know what's considered the top part of it when I'm looking at it. You know, they do have the things, the alphabets kind of right side up to the top most times. So I'm not sure about this one yet because I haven't used it. But yeah. AccuQuilt took the shortcut. I might take the shortcut right with AccuQuilt though. But we're going to see. So that's a good tip, Jackie. I sure hope. Let's see if we're using pieces. Okay, then the other thing is that all of these pieces on here is only for half the block. So I can see now why this would take half an hour. So all of these pieces have to be cut twice for one block. Cut one complete Cleopatra's fan block. And it doesn't tell you that you need to cut it twice or once. Because if I got an A here, and I have an A on both sides of my half square triangle, that means I need 2 A's. So that's why you need a yard of fabric, because you got to cut all of these twice. Yeah. So I'm going to have to run this die board through twice, because I'm going to have to cut all 6 of my fabric. So I'm only going to be able to cut 3 at a time if I fold the same fabric in half and put on here. Because you're going to need 2, because this is only 1/2. So I can see now why I might take 2 hours to sew one block. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's 20 pieces in the block. And they are good size, but it still comes back to being just a 12-inch finished block. So it's going to be interesting. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Yeah. So, yeah, 10 pieces twice out of each fabric. Because otherwise you just have a half of a block. Okay. Oh, Darcy's saying not me, her. I'm here, but gonna bathe the girls. That's from Tiffany. Don says you are our expert. That is funny. And Dewana says I'll just be watching. You got that right. But I'm going to try it. I like weird little challenges like this. I really don't think, looking at this, that it's going to be complicated. But, I could be fooled. So, and I will tell you all the truth. I will not tell you if it's hard sewing. I will let you know if it's hard sewing. And you'll be seeing me sewing here live. I'm not going to do any pre-sewing. And if I don't finish one block while we're live, I am not going to sew in the week, because I want you to see me do a complete block. So I'm not going to muck with it, because I don't want to come back and have it sewn and you all think, oh, it's easy. She got it done. I want you all to see it. I want you all to see me experience it for the first time. So I will not be doing any sewing other than doing a live chat to do this first block. So according to Jackie, If I'm talking and chatting and read chats, I definitely will not get this block done doing chat because I'm going to be talking to you all. And then after I get one block done, maybe in our second chat, it should be done by the second chat. Then I will do a time to see how long it takes me to sew one of the blocks without any interruptions. Mary's talking to Tiff. Janet says, this one may have to stay on my bucket list a little longer. Maybe after you watch me sew it and see how easy it is. Pamela says, I just have to watch how it, I think they're talking about meds again. Don says, I have that die but have not used. I think the mirror images might confuse some people. I am on a Facebook, AccuQuilt and Beyond. Several people have made. Yeah, because when you fold this, you got to fold your fabric in order to get the mirror image of that other side. And they don't say any of that in these cutting directions. They just tell you to cut one complete Cleopatra's fan block. And I'm like, no, AccuQuilt. And this is the first time that I have gotten some instructions like this from AccuQuilt. I am like really surprised at these instructions, unless they wrote it somewhere else. Let me look at this little piece at the top, because they need to quit. How to die cut Cleopatra's fan quilt blocks. For best cutting results, position fabric on the lengthwise grain, straight of grain, as it goes under the roller. This die is designed to cut one complete 3-color 12-inch block in one pass through the cutter. To create a 3-color Cleopatra's fan block, cut 2 layers of 3 different fabric colors in one pass. So this starts on one complete 3-color. But if you put 3 different fabrics, aren't you making all 3 blocks if you're using 3 different fabrics folded? So that's confusing, but that's what they say. To create a 3-color block fan, fabric color 1, cut 2 13 1/2 by 5-inch rectangles. Place one fabric right side up and one fabric wrong side up over shapes A, C, and F. So they do have it where you can, they do have it so that you can cut if you want them all to look the same. Okay, that's even better. So they are breaking it down. It's just on this little part here on the back, which they don't tell you in the pattern that I was looking at. So they're telling you how to cut right here. So they do have this group. So A, C, and F is cut from one fabric. And then I, E, and G are cut from one, just like I thought. And then the last 4 can be cut. I was getting ready to say I would be really disappointed if they just left us like that. So they do tell you what size rectangles to cut. But I almost feel like it'll probably be easier just cover the whole board at this point. Unless if you want all of your blocks to be different, then you can go ahead and do that. And I think I'm just going to cover the entire board. I'm going to cut a piece of fabric so that the lengthwise grain, I'm going to cut a piece so that my lengthwise grain, which is my selvage edge, it's the size of whatever this measurement is on this die, because it's a little bit of room up here at the top, so it can be a little bit shorter. So I'll stop like a 1/4 inch from the edge, and I'm just going to waste fabric. I don't care. I'm just going to cut fast, and then I will worry about this other stuff if I do another Cleopatra's quilt or something, because this is just a test anyway. So I'm just going to pick 6 fabrics and make it that as long as it's I got enough yardage that's as long as this. So it should be 24 inches or less. So fold it in half and slide it on through that cutter. Interesting. Okay, and then I have to, and what I normally do, I'll take rulers and then I will mark, like where they're telling you to cut these rectangles 13.5 by 5, I put it on my board. So I don't have to go back to this paper anymore. And that's when I use these, it says it's a permanent marker, it's permanent Sharpie, and it's silver metallic. So any metallic marker that will show your color, I mark with the silver on the dark, and they also have these in gold. That would work as well. And then I write those measurements on my die, so I don't, if I'm not wanting to keep this bulky stuff here, then I have it written on my die board, and I don't have to worry about what I got to cut or go measure it. So they've already told us right there. So yeah, this is going to be interesting, guys. Darcy is too funny. I love you, Darcy. She says, we have been chatting about everything, but remember to hit that thumbs up. That's right. Thank you, Darcy. Jill Thomas is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Jill, and welcome. Pamela says that she's buffering. Veronica Williams is here. She says, hello, I'm what? She said, just listening. It put up her just nerd. I'm nerd. It's gonna take AccuQuilt a couple weeks before I get the die, but I will be watching you. Okay, Pamela. And I saw that you ordered some stuff too, or somebody. I had 2 orders from AccuQuilt in the last couple of days, so saw 2 people had ordered. I don't know who the other one is right now. Oh, Mary is telling that Kevin, the quilter, you know half of that die is yours, so she can feed you grapes when you sow your half. That's right. Patricia Carluccio is here. She says, hello. Susan T says, you are brave, T. Jackie says, T, my friend gave me a hint. She said, sew all the right sides, then all the left, because you're getting the sewing without having to reverse your thinking. And that's true, but when I first do a demo, I've got to do just one block. I confuse more people if I start doing chain piecing. And so I do, for video purposes, I will do exactly how they're putting these pieces together in the diagram. And then when I start sewing my other blocks off camera, if I'm sewing it, say an A to a B, I sew all of my A's to a B. And then I, so forth. And I'll stick to that one side because you got to reverse. But when I first do this, I'm just going to do one block, and we're going to do the half of the block, and then we're going to do the other half of the block. So I do sew in groupings because it is a lot easier to sew when you're just chain piecing the exact same thing through at a time. But I also will probably take pictures when I lay my pieces out. I will probably take pictures of them too, just so I know which block pieces go with which when you're chain piecing. Because if you're doing Scrappy, you most definitely are going to forget which piece goes with what. So you might need to be taking pictures on your camera, your phone, your iPad, something like that. Marlene O says, hello all, finished my quilt top, just now joining. Congratulations on getting it done. That's a big accomplishment. Sheila says, T, I have this die because I want to be able to work on this while you're working and hope I can keep up. I work every day, not sure how well I will do. And like I said, it's going to take me probably 2 weeks to sew the one block because I sew and chat. Jackie said it took her 2 hours to sew one block. So we're definitely going to be 2 or 3 weeks if I'm doing sew and chat. So hopefully it'll be long enough for you to get caught up, get cut, and maybe make a block or 2 to get comfortable with it. Mary says she keeps buffering, so I'm going to go ahead and go. Bye, Mary. Duana says Amazon has a paper piecing Cleopatra fan. So Duana's out here doing a lot of research for you all. So, I mean, this is Duana. I'm sorry, yes. Duana, she's out doing research. So paper piecing might be an option too, because they break it down, and then the slight curves is still, paper piecing can make stuff look like it still has that slight curve to it, but you actually sewed all straight lines. They just cut those pieces into smaller little paper sections that you end up sewing and making larger paper sections. So that's pretty cool. Pamela says Quilt has a tutorial on YouTube that might help as well. So yes, I am liking this. So we got like a little less than a half hour left. Teaquilts, mine's is 48 inches. That's from Pamela. Oh, okay. I know what you're saying now. Okay. That is not 49 inches. That is not what she's telling me. I'm reading what I want to read. Okay. I'm into numbers. Dorothy says, it's paper piecing hard. I think I have a video or two on paper piecing, paper foundation piecing. I don't think so. I think when I first started paper piecing, I used it for things that had to be applique, and paper piecing kind of broke those down, so I didn't have to do hand applique, although I do like hand applique, but I don't want to do it all the time. So paper piecing also is a great way to get closer to accuracy, because you're actually just sewing on a line. And so I think paper piecing has its positives. It also can have some negatives. You gotta, depending on the technique that you use. Sometimes I've done techniques where I have used freezer paper as templates, and then I just, you kind of sew right next to the seam, so you're not sewing on the paper, so you don't have to pull the paper out, which is the biggest downfall of paper piecing, is that you gotta rip all the paper out at the end. So there are different ways of doing it. A lot of great designers have come up with some techniques. Cheryl Breyer Fallard, she's the one that used the freezer paper. I've made one of her projects, and to me it was really awesome that I sewed a whole lot of curves and didn't even stitch onto paper at all. So it's kind of weird, but I liked it. And Ellie says paper piecing is just time consuming. Okay, yeah, I saw, see Pam. Thank you. Patricia says, sorry, got here so late. I will replay you later. I missed a lot, I see. Yes, I did a huge fabric haul, and then I also redrawed for the quilt top, because the person who wanted Wednesday has not watched Wednesday's video as of 9 p.m. Saturday. So Judy actually won the quilt, so she was actually in the chat, so that's a confirmed winner. And I'm sure that Judy will be sending me that mailing address, because she knows how to contact me. So I'm assuming that our winner has been claimed for the quilt at this point. I'm just going to make sure I don't have any emails in my spam. I don't see any right now, but sometimes they don't show up on my phone. I have to go and go to my desktop and get them. But I went over there earlier today and I still didn't see from Susan. So not that it matters right now. It's already a done deal, isn't it? So yeah. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. If anybody got any quilt related questions, it can be off this topic. It doesn't have to be on the Cleopatra fan, because we're going to be I'm almost thinking, should I just use some batiks and just cut this stuff? Or I got like a container of batiks. Who knows? I'll see what I got. And then maybe I'll just cut whatever I got. Or I don't know. I got to see first, because these are big pieces. So I would have to have some big batik scraps. It's not like those string quilts I make, you know. So I'm getting excited about now starting it, because it just really, some of the curves are deep, but most of them are very gentle curves when you're piecing them into the side sections, the strips. So, yep, yep, yep. Um, I'm laughing at Judy with the smile with the teeth showing. She says, I sure will email you, T. She said, you ain't got to worry. um, good night, June. June's leaving. Don says, will your green and yellow pineapple be the same pattern you did recently with the ring of color, like with the white and black around it? No, it's a totally different quilt. It's not pineapples like that. Ellie says, T, you didn't answer me about that quilt behind you. When did you make it? I got the label back behind the back. Let me see if it's written in my notes anywhere. Well, I began this quilt on May 9, 2008. I completed this quilt and the line is blank. The corner that I normally put my label is over there. So I don't really know. I'm just checking to make sure. Yeah, my label is not in this corner. So I don't know. I've had it completed for a while. So I started in May 9, 2008. I probably finished this quilt. I feel like this was one of those quilts that I finished from start to beginning, because sometimes quilts will call my name. So, and it was a block of the month thing. So I'm just going to say a year, because we had to wait for the next set of blocks, because we had to do the hand stitching as well, the hand embroidery. So it came out in different segments for the month. So I'm just going to say that I had, if the stuff came out in a year, and then to get it quilted, I'm just going to say about a year and 3 months, something like that. And I don't have my Excel sheet accessible on my phone. Sorry. Tiffany's back, guys. Patricia says, yeah, I just woke up. Sorry. My COPD got me earlier. Had to take steroids. Yeah. Jenna says, what is the name of the quilt? I know it's the Underground Railroad of some sort, but it is the Underground Railroad Quilt Code. Underground Railroad Quilt Code. And I think that is actually the name of the pattern, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that I deviated from that. And it can be found at Patchwork Plus. And she is located in Wood River, Illinois. Just let her know that T sent you. Teaquilts sent you. She know who I am. I used to shop from her a lot. I did a lot of her block of the months a long time back. But she has since gone into mostly reproductions, and she has like batiks. But I don't buy batiks all the time. I buy mostly regular cottons mostly. And so I don't shop there like I used to. But she still knows who I am. Cherie is in here. She says, hi, y'all. Sorry I wasn't here for the beginning. That's fine. We got about 20 more minutes. Don says, it's a beautiful quilt. Love the borders. Thank you. And I'm thinking the border and everything was part of the quilt, because that border is some society in Africa. Everything in this quilt has some kind of code. The blocks were more American-based folklore about the Underground Railroad, and then all of the hand embroidery of the symbols are all different African secret societies in Africa. And then these years are various years that were important in the history of slavery in the USA. Trying to get it so you can see it right there, that last one. Thank you, Cherie. And Dawn says, a beautiful quilt. Love the borders. Cherie saying that she loves the quilt. Phyllis G says, I keep dozing off, so good night all. Bye, Phyllis. Thank you so much. So, yeah. So, no questions today. So, what are you all working on then? So, we got a few more minutes, at least 15. Just tell me what quilt projects you're working on, or fabric projects. They don't have to be actual quilting projects. Is that a saxophone in red? What? You talking about this? Those are the Drunkard's Paths blocks that told you to not travel in a straight line. You were to like meander your way through, because if you go in a straight line, like if you're going to the store and you go straight line, you don't want to go like straight to the store. You want to meander your way so that they're not going to find you on a straight path. I think that's what you're talking about. She says, look like a stylized saxophone from here. That's funny. She's talking about the Drunkard's Path blocks. Eric says, no quilt project, making wreaths for Christmas craft sale. That's nice. I have never done like an actual craft sale per se. I've only done vending at like quilt shows per se. But never just doing craft stuff to sell actual crafts. Like I made those pin cushions, and people wanted them, so that's the only reason I made more. And I was surprised that quilters wanted to buy them, because you know, they could make them themselves since they're fabric and they sew, but people just didn't want to make them. Some people only want to make quilts, or some people only want to make clothing. They don't want to get into the craft side. So Cherie says, could signify the beginnings of jazz too. I am restricted to paper crafts at the moment. Should continue to heal though. That's nice. I do paper crafts as well. I just got a Crafter's Companion had a USA warehouse sale. I just bought a lot of stuff, and I'll probably upload video on that. Maybe I'll do that, because I haven't uploaded anything paper crafting in a while. Dewana says she's finishing up a rag quilt. And Darcy says, I have 2 quilts at different people being quilted, and I'm still waiting for my new machine. So that's cool. She's got 2 in the works, to be coming back soon, hopefully. Marlene says, I think I'll start my granddaughter's sunflower quilt with dress in place. That'll be pretty. And Janice says that she's working on last 6 blocks of her spider web. Next comes the layout. Now that's pretty cool. I had some blocks. I guess I put them in the drawer that I was doing, like it was like the 2-strip spider web thing, and I thought I was going to give it to my friend, but then I ended up not giving it to her, so then I stopped working on it. She actually wants a cardinal quilt, so she finally got me all of her shirts, but I haven't even finished my cardinal quilt to even start on hers yet. I need a big space to lay out. And this was a weird summer for me. I didn't get to use my deck like I normally do in the summer. It was very breezy for me on my deck this year. It seemed like every time I went out there, it was like it was always wind, so I never could go out there, because that those quilts are 96 inches square, so they're huge. And I need, you know, when I'm doing that kind of stuff and I'm doing different fabrics and I want to make sure the same fabric doesn't touch, I need to lay that stuff out so I can know what goes where. That's why I like working on big projects at retreat, because I have plenty of floor space. Eric says, I just got burned by the hot glue gun. If I'm not poking myself with pins, I'm burning myself. Okay, be safe, sir. We can't come save you. Cheryl says, can't sew, so she's knitting. That's one thing I just can't figure out. And I think it has to do with this left-right-handed thing. I keep losing a stitch all the time, and then my project gets just smaller on its own. It's not that I'm intending it to get smaller. Katia says, I'm finishing putting on a piece border. That's pretty cool. I love piece borders too. Jackie says, I'm making a large rectangular top for my ironing board. That's pretty cool. I had somebody in a comment thinking of ironing board. That's why I kind of paused. I had somebody watch my, I think it was my starch video or something, and somebody told me that I needed to buy a new cover for my ironing board. And I find that to just be terrific that somebody can tell me what I need to buy. It's not bothering me. And if you feel like my ironing board cover is bad, send me one. I'm open to gifts, you know, send it to me. It was just hilarious what people will put into this comment section. I'm trying to do something educational and people are worried about how my ironing board cover looks. It's too funny. And it probably is like, I wash my ironing board covers. The way I starch, I don't put the starch into it because I starch, and then sometimes I even put freezer paper when I'm starching, if I'm starching like a lot of scraps. And then I let it dry in, so it's not like my ironing board cover was hard. It may not be the prettiest because of heat, but I wash them and I put them back on there. They don't come, you know, they can't get spotless, and I don't bleach them. So it was just strange that that's what they picked up out of the whole video. I just love it. So it just reminded me of that. That happened recently. That's why it reminded me of that. It was about within the last month or so. Tiffany says, what I should do is load the long arm. Haven't touched it in 2 days. Yes. I'm just glad you're able to get it back out, that the weather has changed for you so you can now use it. And Cherie is asking Eric if he's into voodoo now. Katia says, have you had any issues using Minky on your long arm? What kind of needle do you use? I use, I'm blocking, you know, I don't know what size my needles are because I still use the same needles that I first got with my machine, and I just get the same thing. They did give me other needles, but I have never had to use any of the other styles. I'm just going to say something like size 18 maybe, I'm not sure. I have to, if you email me or put a comment outside of chat and ask me that question, Katia, I will make sure that I go check it and tell you exactly what I use. But when I use Minky, I don't use any different needle. I don't use a different needle when I'm using Batiks either as a backing. When I put Minky on, I'm different than most people. Most people will put the Minky on so that the lengthwise, the selvage edge is along the take-up bar and your backing bar. And I actually turn mine so that I have the selvage going as I'm rolling the quilt, because as I'm rolling the quilt, that selvage will keep it so that it's a little bit straighter there and it's not that bias edge. And so it keeps it from me stretching it too much, and I'm very careful when I'm rolling not to pull it too tight. So I'm a little bit different than most people when it comes to quilting with Minky. I actually put my selvage edges as I'm rolling my quilt in, so I don't put it on my take-up bar. And then the other reason is the part that's stretchy. When I'm pinning it to my take-up bar, I got control of me pinning it so that I'm not stretching it as I'm pinning. And then once I pin it to the top and the bottom, my backing piece, then I'm done worrying about it stretching, because the lengthwise is already going to stretch less. Joan says, working on Bonnie Hunter's autumn wall hanging. And I know I was talking with Kevin. I forgot. I'm like, Kevin, what other projects are you going to be working on for the year? And I keep forgetting all about Bonnie starting her November sew along. So that'll be coming up too. So you all are going to be busy around the holiday time. Doshi says, I'm working on a crochet blanket. Every day I do a color of what temperature the weather is, and that's pretty cool. My guild worked on that project. I don't think many people participated in it. And when they got done with that thing, that was one real long, I don't know what you're going to do with it. But it was very long. And it wasn't super wide either, but it was very long. Cherie says, my ironing board cover takes a real beating. Yes. If you're working and using stuff, it just gets used at some point. But like I said, you can starch onto freezer paper. I don't do it all the time, but if I know I'm going to be working with a lot of scraps, then I'll pull a piece of freezer butcher paper off. I buy it by the big rolls in the crafting section. I don't even use it for food, but that's what I have. And so it actually sits by my ironing sofa, so it's right there. It's not like I have to go get it or anything. So that's what I kind of use it for. Eric says, speaking of Bonnie, did Bonnie Hunter announce her next mystery yet? Jackie, are you doing like my big ironing board? Darcy says each row is 200 stitches. Oh, so it's a little bit. You can at least use it to wrap up in and do something with. And it's going to be huge on August 20th, 2021. So that's a little bit wider, I think, than what they did. I can't remember if they did 200 stitches or not. I know I didn't do it. Jenny says fixed backing for a quilt. Sandwiching tomorrow. Good night all. Enjoyed and congratulations again to Judy. Thank you, Janet, for participating. See you next time. And Pamela's home people today. She is at Eric. She says, stop trying to get sympathy from those of us that bore children. Laughing out loud. Eric talking about his pain of burning himself. That is funny. Marlene, Tiffany says she used an 18 if Minky's on the back. I use the same size for regular stitching. I don't find I have to change my needles at all on my machine. When Marlene says I use oven mitt lining under my ironing board cover. Can't think what it's called. I know what you're talking about. It's the heat. It's the heat sensitive stuff to keep the heat from going through. I do know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called. It's not something I use on a regular basis. It's only when I'm making that kind of stuff. Jackie saying, good night all. Love sharing with everyone Saturday night. It's great. Thank you, Jackie. And, yeah. Probably some of the gift things will be getting mailed when I start mailing the other packages too. So you will be getting a tracking note that will work as long as your package is in the United States. I know Jackie is in Canada. So you will know that your package has been mailed to you. If you're out of the country and looking for stuff, I can only track into the United States. I can't track outside. Katya says, thank you, T. Very helpful. You're welcome. And like I said, if you just put a comment outside of any video, you don't have to wait for this one to upload. Just ask me what size needles, what size, what type of needles do I use on my long arm, and I will go and specifically look at the container. It's no problem whatsoever. We're almost at the end, guys. Cherie says, I bought a bolt of Teflon coated calico that I cover mines with. That's pretty cool too. I didn't know they had that, but I haven't been shopping a whole lot for detail type items like that, or just browsing. I didn't know they already had fabrics on top of them. I'm so glad you have these Saturday night chats. I always learn something. That's from Pamela. Thank you, Pamela. Appreciate you all coming. Quilt Gal says, Insobright? Yes, something like that. Yes. That's closer than what we're talking about, that stuff. That sounds good. Thank you. Tiffany says, I never change size unless I use batik on front and back. I use a smaller needle to have smaller puncture holes. And I just find that most of them, when they're washed too, and then when you release it from being on the frame, it all just goes back. Darcy is saying good night to everybody. Good night, Darcy. Thank you so much for being integral and having people hit that thumbs up button. Appreciate it. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and end here. We got 3 minutes left. But I'm through all of the stuff. I see that Judy has already, I'm looking at my notifications, and Judy has sent her email, so she is definitely going to get the quilt. I see her email, and like I said, I've talked with Judy on previous occasions, so I know she knows how to contact me. But it just helps me not to be trying to go back into emails from 2 years ago trying to find people's email address. If you win, I need to know it right now so I know I'm looking in just the month of October, you know. So that helps me out. Saves my time, because my time is very valuable. So that's my most valuable commodity. A thing that I have is my time. My intangible is my time. I can't get it back, and I'm just a one-person shop because nobody in my family or household is interested in assisting me any kind of way with my quilting. So it's just me. So anything that can save me a few minutes of searching, because sometimes I can be searching for stuff for a half hour because I've emailed people so many times. Like I email Dee Dee do a lot of her quilting. We're conversing back and forth. She orders, we converse back and forth. I think I got a lot of Junes I talk with. A lot of you guys, you know, it's all business or quilt topic related. I'm talking with a lot of you guys. Some of you guys send me links like I got today from Janice. And it's, you know, telling me about other things. So telling me about quilt shows, telling me about quilt trips and things. So I have a lot of emails from some of you all, so I can't just go pick the one that has your email address, and I got to read every email to find that. So when I have prizes I'm giving out, I just prefer for people to email me. So we're going to go ahead and end here because I'm just rambling now. And again, thank you all. I appreciate everybody in my Teaquilts family. And I will definitely see you all on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I don't know what we're going to talk about because I already did the haul. Maybe I'll do a haul. I will, because I didn't do it on that second order that I got from him. Maybe I'll do an unboxing, or it's going to probably already be open. But I'll show you all the items that I ordered for this order on from this guy, and I'll just go ahead and upload a video. Maybe I'll do that, and then we'll just do a generic chat if people got questions on Wednesday. So I'll try to see if I can record a video tomorrow. Hopefully don't have a whole lot of editing to do with it, and then try to release it on Wednesday, so before we come on the live you all will see what the order was. So that'll really be my Wednesday kind of work, but I kind of pre-done it. Okay, so thank you guys again for your support, and I will see you all next time. I'm thinking everybody is just saying good night to everyone. And Eric says, T, I'm going to email you sometime this week about the Zoom. Okay, and I do have somebody, Eric, I think it was Barty. She sent me a link that has a list of questions that we might could use in Zoom. Well, I need to forward that to you. I just haven't been doing any work because I haven't been at home this week. So yes. So thanks everybody. See you all next time.